guys, how's it going? It's Al. Week 3 top stacks. Last week we kind of did all right with this video. This week we're going to try and keep up the heat for you. I'm going to talk about 5, count them, 5 of the best stacks that I think you should play in tournament from a value perspective. This does not take into consideration percentage played in tournaments, something that we're going to have to monitor as the week goes on. On Friday, we'll talk about that on the Lineup Builder Show, and once again on Sunday morning. You guys should join the Discord, that's for sure. If you're a channel member on YouTube, you get access to all of the locked channels on the Discord in those VIP rooms where our entire community, 6,000 strong in Discord, kind of hangs out, talks about cash game strategies, tournament strategies, FanDuel, DraftKings, and everything else. But here are the 5 stacks that I think are most important for us to focus on in week 3. Let's go!
He's a legend.
Something that a lot of you have been focusing on is the Smizgang Listener League. It's a $10 entry fee, 3 max tournament with absolutely no rake. The Smizgang Listener League is the best tournament that exists on DraftKings right now. 10% of the prize pool goes to first, 10% of first goes to 10th. So you're not going to want to hide your shoestrings and ties and everything else in the house. If you come in 6th in this tournament, it'll still be a good payday. And I will shout out all of the players that end up in the top 10 on the Monday recap video on the Fantasy Football channel. You can go to smizzle.tv/links if you want to join. Now, last week was tracking faster than week 1, and it filled at like 8 p.m. on Saturday night. This week, it's tracking even faster. I think on last week's Top Stacks video that we record at the same time on Twitch every single week, we had about 1,900 entries. There's 2,200 entries right now. This could fill by midday on Saturday, so reserve your entries now. Make sure that you get into the Smizgang Listener League and compete against all the other members in our community. Smizzle.tv/links. We'll have that. It is down below in the pinned comment. It is also down below in the description. Not hard to find. I'm sure Rosie has put it up on the screen over there a few times already. So shout out to producer Rosie. And let's head over to the top stacks. My top stack on the week. Why are we not just stacking Josh Allen 150 times every single week? This is a question I've asked myself repeatedly over the summer. The problem is not the problem. Josh Allen, in my opinion, has the highest projectable 30-point plus games on the season. And when we're double stacking in tournaments, we are trying to isolate for the 30-point QB game. Unfortunately, he has had 2 straight island games where he's done that and robbed us of the opportunity to take advantage in tournaments. Now, don't fret. He has like 8 of these a year. And we've discussed how powerful the 30-plus point stack, double stack can be when your quarterback has 30-plus points. So, like, if we have Josh Allen in this lineup, guess who's underpriced? Steph Diggs, 7,700. After that outburst, we got the Monday Night Football discount here. If this game was on Sunday, Steph Diggs would and should be 8,700 plus. Cooper Kupp is 9,900. Justin Jefferson is 9,300. Steph Diggs is priced really stupidly at 7,700. It's no offense to DraftKings. What else could they have done about this? They didn't know that a 47.8 point outburst was coming. He makes for a great stack and is going to be extremely popular. Like this double, like this Josh Allen Diggs combo is going to be played a ton this week. Gabriel Davis, also extremely popular if he plays. He has practiced on Wednesday. Reports are that he is going to practice on Thursday as well. If he does, he slides in there. If not, Kumaro played a bunch of the snaps in his absence. Crowder, McKenzie are both kind of splitting time 50-50 in the slot, and Dawson Knox has a question mark by his name. We'll see how it goes. He was held out of Wednesday's practice. I don't really pay much attention to Wednesday's practice other than to just pay attention. Thursday and Friday practices are much more, they get my attention a lot more. If a player misses a Friday practice, he's likely to not play over the weekend. So monitor Knox's status as the week goes along. If you haven't already, our Friday show is brought to you by Establish the Run and FantasyLabs.com. You can go to smizzle.tv/ETR. The link is right down below under discounts in the description of this video. They have everything that you need. You can get a 10% off discount if you are a new member to Establish the Run. Great projections, great subscriber-only videos and content on their channel. You should definitely check it out if you want to be a more profitable player moving forward, to make better decisions and spend less time. Let them do the work for you. They come out with great projections. They manicure them. They spend a ton of time working on them. The best projections that exist in the industry, in my humble opinion. Tagovailoa, look, he went nuts last week. I am going to go out on a limb And I'm going to say that Tua is not going to have 470 yards and 6 touchdowns. I'm going to take the under on those. But in a game that looks as offensively potentially explosive as this one does, the Bills favored by 4.5 points, and as good offensively a mind as McDaniel is, Tua is in a spot where his wideouts are somewhat indefensible, and they're going to garner together somewhere around 50 to 60% of the target market share. He's only 6,100. This is part of the reason. You like that? You should like that. And if you're still here watching the video, drop a like on this video. I would greatly appreciate it. Click that subscribe button and make sure that you ring the notifications bell as I come out with 8 videos a week here on the main channel and another 6 on the fantasy football channel if you subscribe over there as well. So thank you for being here, and let's get back to all the stacks. All of these players look like a value this week. Tyreek Hill at 7,600 still looks like a very good value at wide receiver. The amount of volume that he's gotten is alarming. 13 targets in week 2, 12 targets in week 1. One game that they were playing from behind by a lot, 21-7 they were in this game, so leading to more of a passing script. And in week 1 they were playing from ahead and they still passed the ball. Their pass rate over expectation right now is very high. And Tyreek Hill is as explosive a receiver as there can be. And Jalen Waddle, 6,800. It's impossible. Look, he's not getting 19 targets. Okay, that's just not happening. So the volume was absurd last week. But the key with Jalen Waddle is that he plays opposite Tyreek Hill, who will A, draw the other team's alpha cornerback, and B, have safeties rolled over the top of him, leaving Jalen Waddle a very accomplished route runner with game-breaking speed at 4.3, one-on-one coverage against maybe your second best cornerback, and a coach that knows how to scheme. So like they ran some plays last week that were kind of absurd, where they went into the huddle with like 2 running backs and a tight end, or 1 running back and 2 tight ends, and then put Waddle and Hill into the slot on both sides. So like other teams are putting their big packages in, they put the running backs on the outside. Like schematically, what McDaniel is doing here to find ways to get the ball into Waddle and Hill's hands is he's an evil genius. Let's just put it that way. So it's very easy to get to this double for less money. Use one of the Bills pass catchers on the way back with this one and find your way there. If you wanted to really get different, you could play Gesicki, but I think that that's just gross. He did catch a touchdown. He should be cheaper. He's 4,300 this week. His price should go down on general principle alone based on that gritty that he hit after scoring a touchdown. That was straight embarrassing, and he should not be higher than 3,700 just on general principle. Kirk Cousins is maybe the best value stack on the week. And is going to, I think he's going to end up being very popular, partially because this is another situation of the Monday night discount at one of his positions. It is very easy to go after Kirk Cousins coming off of a really bad game, now squaring off against the Detroit Lions, who have given up 1 million points through the first 2 weeks and have looked pretty good offensively themselves. And this game does line up as a potential shootout. And there are popular players on the other side, DeAndre Swift, Amon-Ra St. Brown. There's ways that we can go to bring this back. So if people are not going to be on Kirk Cousins, that's a great time for us to buy. We don't want to buy when everybody's jumping onto a play. We want to buy when a player's price comes down. We want to buy when a player's popularity comes down. I think the fact that he got priced up from 62 to 67 because of this matchup could keep some people off him, but Kirk Cousins does look like a very good value this week. Justin Jefferson is a stud coming off of a 12 target game where Slay kind of dominated him. And maybe look, Kirk Cousins, we know he does not do well on night games. He has toasted Minnesota the last few times that they've played, throwing for like multiple touchdowns the last 3 times. And like last year, he averaged like 315 yards in the games that they played through the air against them. So Justin Jefferson's going to be very popular for good reason. You can get different by going with Adam Thielen, who I do not think people are going to be on. This is kind of what I'm talking about. You want to buy into players when everybody else is not buying into them, specifically for tournament usage. For cash, play the popular plays. Play the right plays, play the highest point per dollar plays. Don't worry about percentages. In tournaments, you have to be willing to zig when others zag. And so because most of the people that will play players from this game in secondaries or one-offs are going to play one of 2 players. 1, Justin Jefferson. 2, Irv Smith Jr., who this is a Monday night discount in this situation. 3,400 in week 1, was 3,200 in week 2, popped off for 5 for 8 for 36 and a touchdown, and had another one that was missed in that situation, like where he would have been everybody's favorite play going into this week, is only 3,100. Now, him and Gesicki need to swap prices, because this is a tight end that really looks like looked like a really high volume play coming into the year. And after last week's performance, when he didn't play very much in week 1 on the recovery from the offseason surgery and injury, week 2 he was fully deployed. This double right here looks like it's going to be the most populous on this team in particular. Adam Thielen or KJ Osborne are your ways off of that. With Osborne, you're hoping that he finds his way into the end zone. Thielen does get more usage in the red zone, in the end zone, both the last 2 years, and that will sustain and move forward this year. Him and KJ Osborne will be the other 2 plays, and we have to get a percentage on Dalvin Cook. I'm not going to use Dalvin Cook in these Cousins double stacks, and there are obvious players to bring it back on the other side. We're doing a fundraiser for No Kid Hungry. We're approaching $12,000 raised so far this football season. We haven't even hit Sunday of week 3. If the content has been to your liking, if you have won money, if you've enjoyed the entertainment that I provide on this channel and the education that I try to give you on a week in, week out basis on how you should be building your lineups, please consider donating to our fundraiser at No Kid Hungry. The link exists in the link tree at smizzle.tv/links, or you can go directly there at smizzle.tv/charity. No Kid Hungry is raising money to provide school breakfasts and lunches to kids who are food insecure all across the United States of America. Every single dollar helps. You know, we get to play daily fantasy, we get to play fantasy football, we have extra money to spend. Get one less latte. Give $5 to No Kid Hungry. If everybody that watched this video gave $5, we'd already be at our $50,000 goal. And with every $10,000 we raise, I have pledged to match $10,000 myself, getting to 5 of those $50,000 matches. If you guys can get to 50,000, I will donate 50,000 myself. We will raise $100,000 together and help out some kids who are food insecure. The next one is going to be Jared Goff. Surprisingly, this is not the puke stack. You can't wait for number 5, can you? Like, the puke stack is pukey. It's really bad. It's it's a value. But let's focus on number 4. Okay, let's focus on number 4. Jared Goff has done well at providing the ball to the players that need the ball. Now, there are some metrics that might show that he has not done as well. His average depth of target is a little bit lower. He's not challenged downfield. He's completing less than 60% of his passes. I'm in agreement with you on that. However, if the Lions defense, which showed a little life last week, right, in getting pressure on an opposing passer, can't stop giving up points, then Jared Goff is just going to have to throw the ball a ton. And he's got some efficient players that he can go to in the passing game, not the least of which being DeAndre Swift, who has gotten 8 targets through 2 games this year. And now, if I'm building Goff stack, I'm not going to include Swift in that stack. I will start with the sun god himself, Amon-Ra St. Brown, probably going to come in around 20% this week. He's going to be very popular, and for good reason. Looking at a couple of other players, though, that we can use in this, one that pops as a definite value and nobody wants to play is TJ Hawkinson. Went from 4,900 to 4,700, now sits at 4,200. The volume has been there, 7 targets in each of the first 2 weeks. That's right on pace with what he got last year. He's sitting around 20% of the target market share on a team that looks like they could possibly be in a shootout situation. As prices go down, as performance goes down, that's when you want to buy into a player. And TJ Hawkinson looks like a great play this week. Looking at a couple of other wide receivers, DJ Chark, 12 targets so far through 2 games, and Josh Reynolds. He's your long shot guy. There's not enough volume here. There's not enough meat on the bone. But people are going to flock to him because of that touchdown that was scored last week. I would prefer to utilize DJ Chark if I'm going with Goff stacks. We already talked about the Minnesota bringbacks on the other side. And Marcus Mariota is 100% our puke stack of the week. That it is what it is. The reason he's the puke stack this week, there are definite value plays around him. He's not going to have to do that much. This is a week where we have to try to get different. In week 2, the stacks were the worst values that I've seen in a long time from a point per dollar perspective, which was going to hold people off of stacking and double stacking in tournaments. Chat is going nuts right now. Everyone should hate this. Ouch. Boo this man. I absolutely love it. Marcus Mariota is 5,500, and he's 5,500 on a week where I think the vast majority of players in tournaments are going to gravitate towards Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, Kirk Cousins. They're going to spend up on basically every single Jalen Hurts. There's so many good quarterbacks at the high end this week that Marcus Mariota actually projects as a value against Seattle. Stack him with who, they say? Well, I don't know if you heard, but Drake London's got 19 targets through 2 weeks and is sitting at 5,800. He's done pretty well. And I know that they don't really focus on fancy football, not fantasy football, but fancy football apparently. But Kyle Pitts is 4,800. There are very few tight ends who can score 20 to 30 DraftKings points. He has that in his player profile. He is out there all the time. He is participating in 85+% of the snaps for his team. He is running routes on over 80% of Marcus Mariota's dropbacks. Unfortunately, they have paired up Kyle Pitts on a cornerback. That's a no-no for tight ends. They don't do as well. They are less efficient on 50% plus of the routes that he's run. He's running routes on like 82% of Mariota dropbacks, which is absolutely elite. You want to get different? You want to get nuts? Let's get nuts. The Kyle Pitts, Drake London, Marcus Mariota stack puts us at like a pretty cheap price, right? We're at 6K. We're like at 17K. Now we can afford a way different price with 6780 remaining here. And you know what? There's a couple of pass catchers on the other side that aren't that expensive either, that allows you to stay in the mid-range without having to go real cheap and then use a secondary stack from one of those super premiums on those big offenses like the Chiefs or the Bills or that Lions game if you choose. So Marcus Mariota, find yourself onto an ugly stack this week. I only care about the potential ceiling. This game from this stack, if we could get 60 plus points out of this stack, that would be more than enough, A, for differentiation purposes, and B, to allow us to get onto some other premium plays, differentiate our lineup at different places this week, as I think cheap running backs are going to be the place that everybody goes. Let's head over to Fantasy Labs. We'll take a look at the optimizer. If you have not checked out the how to build lineups on the Fantasy Labs optimizer, that is in the how to win playlist here on the channel. How to win on DraftKings playlist. The latest video I think that I've added to that playlist as well goes through every one of the different rules that I use in that lineup builder. Go check it out. Apply those settings. I have isolated to the quarterbacks that I've highlighted in this video. You click submit, and you're going to have to go through these and manicure the lineups and the combinations and everything that you want to make sure you get the allocations that you want. But go over to Fantasy Labs, smizzle.tv/labs with an uppercase L, and go check out all the great products and tools that they have over there for every sport: NFL, college football, basketball, baseball, golf, NHL, NASCAR, MMA, whatever you have and want to play in DFS, they have projections, the articles, and the lineup builder to help you excel. So thank you guys for watching. Look out for another video right there.
He's a legend.